Good evening, students. Welcome back to our online class. In today's lecture, we are discussing about the solar energy, the ultimate renewable source. In last lecture, we discussed about the non-renewable sources, in which we focus on wind energy. How we can convert wind power into the electrical energy, their technology, their current scenario in India and worldwide. In today's lecture, we are going to focus on solar energy. It is also one of the ultimate renewable sources. First of all, we know renewable energy source also called as non-conventional energy sources are sources that are continuously replaced by natural processes. A renewable energy system converts the energy found in sunlight, wind, falling water, sea waves, geothermal heat or biomass into another form. We can use such a heat or electricity. Most of the renewable energy sources comes either directly or indirectly from sun and wind and can never be exhausted, and therefore they are called as renewable. Okay. Now there are various forms of renewable energy, which are solar energy, wind energy, bioenergy, hydro energy, geothermal energy, wave and ideal energy, in which we discuss about the wind energy in last lecture. In today's lecture, we are going to discuss on solar energy. Okay. What is a solar energy first of all? Then we can discuss about its technology and applications and disadvantages and advantages. Origin with the geothermonuclear fusion reaction occurs in the sun. How we can get a solar energy? Actually, it comes from sun, in which in the core of sun there is a hydrogen fusion reaction is there. It is a thermonuclear fusion reaction in which a tremendous amount of energy are produced, and that energy reached around on our earth surface by an electromagnetic radiations. We can utilize that radiations to convert a solar energy into the electrical energy or another form of energy. It represents the entire electromagnetic radiations, which are from gamma ray to the radio wave. Gamma ray, X-ray, UV, visible, IR, far infrared, microwave, radio wave and so on. This is a complete electromagnetic spectra or electromagnetic radiations. Radiant energy from the sun has powered life on earth for many millions of years, because if any tree want to grow, it requires a sunlight for a photosynthesis process, and most of the things, living things, required electromagnetic radiation or solar radiations. How we can convert that radiations, or how we can convert solar energy into the electrical energy or heat energy, that we will discuss in the next slide. Okay. First of all, what is the solar energy? A solar energy is the most readily available for a free source of energy since millions of years ago, from the millions of years ago. It is arises, solar energy produces due to the hydrogen fusion reaction, which can occur at the core of the sun, and during that fusion reaction most tremendous amount of energy is produces. That energy in the form of radiations, or it is a electromagnetic radiations. Now, solar energy. It is estimated that solar energy equivalent to over 15,000 times the world annual commercial energy consumptions reaches the earth every year. Means this much amount of energy, electromagnetic radiation or solar energy are getting from the sun. India receives solar energy in the region of 5 to 7 kWh per meter square for 300 to 330 days in a year. Means from 365 days we are getting solar energy up to 300 to 330 days in India. This energy is sufficient to set up 20 megawatt solar power plants per square kilometer land area. We are talking about the India only. Solar energy can be utilized throughout two different routes, as a solar thermal route or a solar electric, solar photovoltaic route. Solar thermal route uses the sun's heat to produce hot water or air, cook food, drying material, etc. Solar photovoltaic uses sun's heat to produce electricity for lighting home, building, running motors, pumps, electric applications, and so on. There are so many solar applications are there that we will discuss one by one. In solar thermal route, solar energy can be converted into thermal energy with the help of solar collectors and receivers known as solar thermal devices. The solar thermal devices can be classified into three categories: low grade heating device, medium grade heating device, high grade heating device, which can we are classifying these devices on the basis of their temperature. For low grade heating device having temperature up to 100 degrees Celsius, for medium degree it is a 100 to 300 degrees Celsius, for high grade it is a above 300 degrees Celsius. Low grade solar thermal devices are used in solar water heater, air heater, solar cooker and solar dryers for domestic and industrial applications. That we will discuss one by one. Although directly or indirectly the sun is responsible for all of the energy on the earth. Direct solar energy is clean, renewable energy resource that is easily vast enough to provide us with all of our energy need. There are three main ways we can harvest solar energy: solar or hot water, solar thermal electricity or photovoltaic cell. That we will discuss one by one. First of all, we will discuss about the solar water heaters. These are the some solar thermal energy applications in which solar water heater is there, solar cooker is there, solar electricity generator by using a solar photovoltaic cell, then solar water pumps are there. In solar water heater, most solar water heater system having two main parts, a solar collector and storage tank. The most common collector is called a flat plate collector. It is as shown in upper figure, in figure first. It having it consists of a thin flat rectangular box with a transparent cover that faces the sun, mounted on the roof of the building of a home. Small tubes run throughout the box and carry the fluid, either water or other fluid which you want, such as antifreeze solution to be heated. The tubes are attached to an absorber plate which is painted with special coating to the absorb the heat. The heat build up in the collector which is passed to the fluid passing through the tubes. An insulating storage tank holds the hot water. It is similar to water heater but larger in size. In case of systems that use fluid, heat is passed from the hot fluid to the water storage tank throughout a coil of the tube, in which in this way we can utilize our solar energy to heat our water. Similarly, same principle can be occurred in solar cooker. A solar cooker is a device which uses solar energy for cooking and thus saving fossil fuels, wood and electrical energy to a large extent. Means by using this kind of cookers, we can save our fossil fuels as well as electrical energy. However, it can only supplement the cooking fuel and not replace it totally. It is simply cooking unit, ideal for domestic cooking during most of the year except during the monsoon season, because in that season cloudy days are there. That's why radiations are that much power of radiations are not reached to the surface of the earth. That's why except a monsoon season. There are two types of cookers are there. One is box type cooker and another is parabolic, as we see in this right side second and third figure. By using this device, we can cook our use for our cooking purpose. Okay. Next, solar photovoltaic or a solar electrical generator by using solar photovoltaic. Photovoltaic is the technical term for solar electric. Photo means a light and voltaic means electric. PV cells are usually made of silicon, an element that naturally releases an electron when exposed to light. Here we can see first figure of left side, which is a PV cells made up with the help of silicon. When a electromagnetic radiations or sun radiations incident on that photovoltaic cell, due to incident radiations, electron get generated and electricity can produces or stored in the generator, and we can use that electricity for our home applications. The silicon cell is covered with a grid of metal that directs the electrons to flow in a path to create an electric current. This current is guided in a wire that is connected to the battery or DC appliances. Typically, one cell produces about 1.5 watt of power. Individually, cells are connected together to form a solar panel or module. This is a complete solar panel. A number of PV cells come together, they form one solar panel, and that solar panel is capable of producing 3 to 100 watt power. That panels are connected in series and parallel to make a solar array, which can produce any amount of wattage as space will allow. If more number of cells can arrange in a solar panel, more amount of solar power or electric power can be generated. It depends on the size of our panel. Next, solar water pumps. In solar water pumping system, the pump is driven by motor run by solar electricity instead of conventional electric drawn from the grid. A solar water pumping system consists of a photovoltaic array mounted on a stand, and motor pump is said to capable with the photovoltaic array. If we see the middle figure of bottom, which consists a solar panel which is connected to the motor. When sun's electromagnetic radiations incident on that panel, it generates electron, it carries a current. Due to that, our water pump we can use that electric power to work our pumping system. Okay, it converts this solar energy into the electricity which is used to running the motor pump set. The pumping system drawn water from the open wall, bore well, stream, pond, canal, or from where you want. You can use this kind of system to anywhere. These are some applications related with the solar energy. How solar energy works? When electromagnetic radiations incident on solar panel, which is made up with help of silicon, it consists a parallel and series connections of PV cells, which carries, when electromagnetic radiation is on that cells, it generates a electron which carries a current. That electricity passed throughout a breaker box or outlet in the building. You can connect that panel to our homemade applications. We can connect to our refrigerator, TV, and other electronic devices. In this way, we can utilize solar energy for our home also. There are some advantages and disadvantages also there. Advantages: all chemical and radioactive pollutions, byproducts of the thermonuclear reactions remains behind on the sun, while only pure radiant energy reaches the earth. This is the main advantage of solar energy. Second one, energy reaching in the earth is incredible. By one calculation, 30 days of sunshine strike the earth have the energy equivalent to the total of the planet fossil fuel, both used and unused. Means 30 days of sunshine strike on the earth, which that much energy is equal to the total energy associated with the fossil fuels, both used as well as unused. There are some disadvantages also there. First disadvantage is that sun does not shine consistently. Solar energy is a diffuse source. To harness it, we must concentrate it into an amount and form that we can use, such as heat and electricity. Addressed by approaching the problem throughout collection, conversion, and storage. Means the efficiency of conversion of solar energy to the electricity is very low, because that much sophisticated technology is not there. We have scope to develop that such a technology to convert solar energy into the electrical energy with more effectively, but the cost of that technology is very high. This is the main advantage of solar energy. Okay. Now, this is all about the solar energy as a source of, as a ultimate source of renewable energy. If you have any doubt about this solar energy, you can ask anytime. Thank you.